Metroplex! And Metroplex was released in 1986 by Hasbro in the world of the Generation 1 Transformers. Now let's get into this. So for this video and future videos, like I've kind of done in the past, I'm going to be talking about the lore of the figure, sometimes in the cartoons, sometimes in the comics, sometimes both. So what about Metroplex? Metroplex is a giant. He is an Autobot City when he transforms. He can also transform into a mobile attack center if he's being attacked, or if he wants to be driving somewhere, he can transform into that as well. Before I start getting into the toy review, I'd like to go into the lore a bit of Metroplex. Mainly in the cartoon, but a little bit in the comics. So originally on TV, he first appeared in Scramble City, which was a Japanese special to more advertise the toys of Metroplex, Trypticon, and all the combiners. So you got Bruticus from the Combaticons, you have the Aerobots, Superion from the Autobots, and you have the Protectobots, and then you have the Stunticons and the Technobots. But anyway, so they introduced Metroplex into the half-an-hour special in Japan called Scramble City. But in North America, where I'm from, he first appeared in the Transformers the Animated Movie in 1986. Though you didn't actually see him in robot mode, he was in city mode. And he didn't have the cog to transform him into a robot. So in the movie, he was just a city. In season 3, they introduced Metroplex, where they install the transformation cog where he can transform into Metroplex. So one of the main villains of Metroplex, his arch nemesis, is Trypticon. And he was one of the guys I just mentioned. But Trypticon is basically the Decepticon version of him, but he doesn't transform into a robot. He goes from base to a T-Rex. And in the cartoon, in the season 3 and possibly season 4 was only 3 episodes long. So mainly season 3, you would see different times Metroplex would actually go and fight Trypticon to protect the Autobots from the attacks from the Decepticons, or many of the other giants that would attack. So after the cartoon ended in North America, in Japan, Transformers Generation 1 continued with the series Transformers the Headmasters. The Headmasters ignored season 4 of the animated series in the North America, but continued from there. I believe it took place like 5 or 10 years after season 3, and so Metroplex was still in it. He did have screen time in the show, but eventually they introduced Fortress Maximus, which is the newer Autobot based robot who was even bigger than Metroplex, if you can believe that. So besides the manga and comics since Generation 1, he's appeared also in the game series War of Cybertron, specifically in the sequel game Transformers Fall of Cybertron, where he plays a big role attacking the Decepticons and protecting Cybertron. When you play as the Decepticons, you actually do fight Metroplex, and at the end of the game, Metroplex gives his energy to the Autobot spaceship, the Ark, to allow the Autobots to leave Cybertron and come to Earth. I really loved those two games because it gives that nostalgia from Generation 1 with changes, but it's amazing, and the game is like all on Cybertron, so that's really cool. So back in 1986, if you would have bought Metroplex in the United States, he would have cost between $32 and $34.99 US. And you would have bought Metroplex, he would have came with a ton of accessories. I don't have all of them, but I have most of them. He comes with 2 robots. One is a black car, and his name is Scamper. Another Autobot, his name was Six Gun, and basically he's part of Metroplex. He has actually all of his guns form into a robot when he's not using his guns. Some of the other accessories, including his guns, include 2 twin barrel guns, 2 smaller laser pistols, a main larger cannon, a little gray tank called Slammer. He comes with a shoulder antenna, well 2, but 1 actually comes apart. Comes with a chest plate, 2 kneecaps that are detachable, which I have, I just don't have them on right now. His 2 fists come out, so they're technically an accessory. A lot of Transformers back in the day would actually allow you to take out their fists. I'm not a big fan of that, but that's what they did. A large black cannon or rifle, missile rockets that would fit into his guns as well. Also, he would have came with stickers, a manual, and obviously the box he came in. So I did a bunch of different eBay searches on what it would cost to buy him today. If you bought him with no accessories, no box, you would have went for about $18 US. Also, if you would have bought him the maximum not being in the box, but almost complete, around $320 US. If you wanted to get him in the box, the cheapest I could find was around $179 US. And the most expensive I could find in the box was going for around $1,000 US. Wow.
This is Metroplex, Autobot City, Earth's last line of defense. When under attack, Metroplex thunders into action as a battle station, finally transforming into an awesome robot. But can Metroplex beat up the new Decepticons? Robots in disguise from Hasbro.
So we have Metroplex. He is a really big transformer, so I had to adjust the camera a bit to see the whole body of him. He's not complete, but he's mostly complete. He does come with a lot of accessories. I don't have all of them, hence being complete. So before I start, I'm just going to talk about some of his accessories that I have. So we first have his 2 fists. This fist here and that fist over there. They come out, and this antenna comes out like so. His kneecaps here, they come off. So I'm just gonna take them off for the time being. And I have on the back, he has this piece here. In the instructions, it doesn't actually say to put it there. I just put it there just so I don't lose it. So it will just twist off like that. And this is a building, part of his base mode. And then I'll just turn him around again. And then also I have most of his guns and his missiles. I also have a tank that comes with him. The tank's name is Slammer. And for right now, I actually have him hidden in this chest compartment. You can see he's a tank, and he also is part of him when he goes into base mode, which I'll show you. And I also have hidden in here for now 2 missiles, goes into his red gun, which I'll show you in a moment. I'll just put them to the side for now. Same with the tank. I'll just close this compartment. And his other accessories I have and his guns actually combine into another robot called 6 Gun. And this is 6 Gun right here. Now 6 Gun, I don't have his arms. Those are 2 other weapons that I didn't get when I bought him. So unfortunately, that's the way it is. There's different Transformer seller websites that you can buy special accessories, or go to a Transformers convention like TFCon. A really great one in my area is TFCon Toronto, so check it out. So anyway, so I'm just going to show you how to take him apart. Basically, this front part comes off first, and it's part of the tower. It doesn't really do anything else. So I'm just going to put this to the side. And then if you flip them over, take the back piece off. So you just want to twist the gun turret off. And this is used for the base or the mobile attack center. So then you just want to take his legs are the 2 guns. So you just want to remove them like so. Like so. And grab the gun and then grab one of the missiles. The missiles don't actually launch. They're just for show, basically. I don't know why they even included a missile, but it doesn't actually launch. It's not supposed to. And you want to move his arm up, and you can put the gun into his fist. Do the same for the other arm. Like so. Voila, he has his guns on him. So in the toys, they made it so that some of the different members of the other giants can actually connect to Metroplex of the Autobots. So I'm just gonna show you how to do it. So I have one of the Autobots right here. So I'm just gonna move him around like that. And so basically, if you look at his arm there, there's a socket. And I'm gonna grab the Autobot, pull up his head, and then you can connect it into his arm like that. So it's kind of like a shield. And then you can do it to the other side as well. I have another Autobot. Do the same thing. And then you just want to connect it. And also, you can connect the Autobot or any of the other giants here and here as well. I didn't do it just because I think it looks stupid that way, but you can if you want. So I'm just going to take the Autobot off his shoulders. Alright, so now a little bit about my figure. I would say probably this is the biggest Autobot I have. So he's a triple changer. He transforms into a base and also a mobile center. So I'm going to show you how to transform to all three modes. We're going to remove the guns. We're going to remove the shoulder antenna, and then we are going to remove both fists. The next part, you want to take the arm, turn it up like that, and remove it backwards, and then slide it to the back. Like so. Then we want to move the antennas on his head back and then flip out his shoulder. Like so. And that becomes the helipad for airplanes, helicopters, right? The arm here, you want to rotate it up like that. We'll leave that there for now. And now we want to push the head down until it snaps. And then for the other arm, we just want to rotate it and then rotate it again and then move the antenna up. So the next thing, we want to flip Metroplex, and then his legs, there's a flap here, pull and let it come down. And then do the same on the other side. And then pull him up like this. So then we want to move the legs out a little. Rotate the torso. So he's like that. The side here, you want to pop it out. Like so. And then do the same on this side. And then you want to put Metroplex into a sitting position. Starting to look more like a sitting now. So he's almost there. So we're gonna do a couple things here. The next step is to build the tower. So there's a couple things here. So we're gonna grab the tank, this tank here, take the gun off, like so, put it to the side. Flip it over, and then see this connector here, we wanna flip out. And this becomes the tower. After you pull this part up, you want to take it and put it on top of here. So it looks like a tower right there. The next part, you want to take the parts of 6 gun, so these 2 parts here, and instead of building the transformer, we're building a tower. So we're going to take this piece here and put it over his head, like so. If you look closely at Metroplex there, right here and here are 2 holes. So then I'm just going to put this part, connect it right there, and snap it in. So it kind of makes like a tower. The next part, we want to open up this black door and then pull it out. And so basically you can pull it out. So if you had the black Transformer Scamper, when you open up the door, he would have slid right out. There's a button on the top right here. If you put the car all the way back, it will push it out. We'll do an example. It's not the same, but I have a Protectobot. He's an ambulance. I put him all the way back in here. He slides out. So you can bring on the helipad, you can put one of the aerial bots right here, you know, on the base. Another thing is the knees. They actually go onto the bottom part of the base there. Down here and here, there's a hole in a connection piece. So you can just connect it there. And then do the same on this side. And then you can attach guns on there if you want to. So we also have the building here. So we're just going to attach it the same way we had in robot mode, but upwards, so you can actually see it and not be behind the actual transformer. It's looking like a city now. So you can attach the guns over here if you want, and then attach another gun here. And voila, we have him in base mode. Now, another bonus thing with the Metroplex, and I mentioned it before about Scramble City and about the aerial bots and the Protectobots and the other Autobot giants, they can actually go into base mode and connect to Metroplex to make it even a bigger and better base if you have all the Transformers. It was kind of a, you know, collect one and collect them all, make a bigger city, get your parents to spend more money. So I have one of the guys. His name is Scattershot. He's not an area bot or a Protectobot, but he's one of the Technobots, which forms another giant. And like him and some of the other bigger ones from the different giants, they can combine into base and extend Metroplex to make him a bigger and better base. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. We're going to move the base around. Right here, there's an attachment there you can connect Scattershot to. So basically, this part here will connect directly in to right here. Voila! We just expanded Autobot City. Also, if you wanted to, you can put some of the parts back in here, the extra accessories, if you didn't want the ramp up. But for coolness, we're just gonna leave it like this. And now we're going to transform the base to the mobile attack center. First of all, let's get Scattershot out of the way, and we will remove the guns, and this one as well. And then also these two compartments. We will also remove this part as well. And then the antenna for the tank. And then we're just gonna snap it back in like that. And we can reattach the gun to the tank so you can use it as a tank in the attack mode, which I'll show you in a bit. Next part is move the ramp back in. So, until it snaps back in. And then we want to move the head up first. So if we turn it around, there's a button right there. So we press it, his head pops back up. So let's flip him around again. Move the helipad back up. The arm, we're going to slide it and move it around like so. And then we're just going to turn it up like that and then slide it up. And then we're just going to push the head back down like so. This part we can either take off or just turn it around. I'll just take it off just for time's sake. We're going to move this arm down like so. we're going to take the torso and move it back up, and move this part up and back in, and then do the same on the other side. And then pick him up, flip him around, but we're going to move the legs in like this, and then we're going to move the torso up, and then up again, and up again. We're going to twist him around, like so, and then we're going to pull his one antenna out, like that, so it becomes like a gun. We're going to grab the other antenna, this guy, and just plug it in here. We're going to move the head back up, so press the button again. On this side, we're going to flip up the hidden gun, like so, like so. And then you can flip the gun up. You want to push the head back down. From there, you can put these two kneecaps back on. The building part you can put back on. So I'm just going to do that right now. Why am I doing this? Because there's a gun that's going to shoot upwards. So if like the Decepticons are attacking, you want to shoot upwards and you don't want to use this gun, you have a one gun that can shoot up. And that's this red turret. So if you turn it around and then rotate the building down like that, put the gun in this little hole right there and the gun in there. So then there's a gun turret shooting up. So we're going to turn it around again. We're going to put the guns right here. And then the other gun as well, right here. There's nothing we can do with this, so it's just going to go aside. Same with the fists, unless you want to put it in this compartment. I'll just set aside. But we also have the tank. So you can, I don't know, put him right here. Or if you want, he can lead the way to fighting the Decepticons right there. That's Metroplex in attack mode.